let's continue our discussion about how well we can frame questions in order to assess students' understanding of the comprehension or understanding of the given text. So we are talking about the comprehension of the questions, the types of questions which we can frame and include in order to assess students' understanding of the given passage. So there are multiple choice questions. We have already talked about yes, no, true, false, and now the multiple choice questions are like they require students to choose from the options given below. So there could be like 4 options or 3 options. So it depends. But while framing multiple choice questions, we need to ensure, as the maker of, or as the examiners, we need to ensure that 20% chance of guessing correctly is there. So although these multiple choice questions are difficult to make because they require a lot of time, effort on the part of the teachers, but what's needed is just to frame them in such a way which are understandable, which can fairly easily be understood by the students. So another form or type of question is the sentence completion. We can engage our students to complete the sentence by filling in the space given in between the sentence or at the end of the sentence or in the beginning of the sentence. So usually these type of questions they come towards the end of the passage or given at the end of the passage. So when we are talking about sentence completion, there are 4 types. For example, one of the types is we could frame the question in such a way which requires students to exactly copy a few words from the text, or which requires them, secondly, to fill in the missing words which they can find from the text. And thirdly, the sentence or the missing space could not be exactly the same. So, or the missing words are not in the text. Just to ensure that, in order to, while designing such questions, we need to take into account the ability or the proficiency level of our students. So these question types, help. There can be another type which requires students to transfer information from the passage in the text. And we can also include questions which require students translate some of the parts of the given passage. But when we are talking about the translation, that's a different area because that needs different sort of skills, different sort of tests. So that's a bit tricky to include translation. And another type is to write a short summary of 1/4 of the text. And that could be very useful to measure the overall understanding of the students. So, and we can ask the questions which could encourage students to discuss the main idea of the given passage. But while when we are designing questions in order to measure the overall understanding of the given passage by the students, we need to ensure as being EFL or ESL, effective EFL teachers, we need to ensure that such passages involve group work or pair work from the students. The reason why, the rationale why putting them into pairs or groups is just to enhance, just to share ideas and enhance their understanding and answer the passage, and which in in an appropriate manner. So this is how we can design or frame questions which can be given towards the end of the passage and which can be used to understand or assess the overall understanding of the students.